got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got... It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm ready in 10, I'm down.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Break that. 380. 54 miles. We ain't giving up nothing today. 380.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Stay with your man.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 36.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On first down, Carson. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28. And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners 28. On third down, Swift. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
Right, 280. Right there, 54 miles. Go 14. Go full strength. Let's go. Shoot.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Getting the sack to 227-pound linebacker Quan Alexander. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
After the sack on first down, Wilson, and the pressure gets to him again. DeForest Buckner, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone, and that will be incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Myers on for the field goal. A 59-yard attempt.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Here we go.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Garoppolo now. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it. Taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Here we go. Black 80. Check. Walk 54. It just worked.
Garoppolo. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Niners 7, Seahawks 7.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
315. 54 Mike. Watch the run. Watch the run.
This is Carson. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Play action. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they'll be looking to make this a two-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Garoppolo, maybe a free play. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Here we go. 180. Check back 50. Watch the pass. Here we go. 11.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. This one complete to Coleman. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Garoppolo's throw taken in by Samuel. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Here we go.
Garoppolo now, 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And now Garoppolo lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. There's Garoppolo to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Trent Taylor, the one he was looking for. 3rd down here.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And a sack. They get to him defensively, but the flag comes in, and I think the D jumped. So that one will be accepted.
We're going to keep getting sacks.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. To throw is Garoppolo. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 1st down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 23 yards, the final tally. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Right there, 54 Mike. Hey, come on out here, come get some.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And he's got Lockett. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 28. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Not too many more ideal situations in second and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11.
Touch 50, touch 50. 56, Mike, 56, right there,
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw. A free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Myers' kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want none.
Garoppolo on first down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Down San Francisco.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Hey, 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 hey.
Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And some space here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync.
Oh, now Breida loses it, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here first and 10 at their own 14-yard line. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. A tackle made by K.J. Wright. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Let's go one more.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
First down, 49ers.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On first down, here's Breida. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Garoppolo hooking up here with Trent Taylor. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 45-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He'd had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
50 to Mike. 50 to Mike. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. Mike's 50. I got one.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Here we go.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. And that is going to be incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
A little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up.
Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Move the team.
First and 10 at the 49-yard
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to punt.
Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
On second down, it's Carson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. Wilson, he's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Check 99.
They run it with Carson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a third down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
On third down, Carson. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4.
Jason Myers on for the field goal. A 30-yard.
And Myers able to knock it through. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip.
Let's go.
Take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we
The
go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away.
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The pickup of 3 brings up second and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7.
It's our time. Check 3. Check 3.
21.
Garoppolo now. He finds Taylor, complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
What? Who's the team?
Mike's 56. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Good touch.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Nick Bosa. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now Wilson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, that's into the hands of Pascal. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Now it's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
At the 9-yard line.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
I know he ain't got it. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. No. Off.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Pick it up.
They'll try to run with Carson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. They come out here in the eye. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They run for it with Carson. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Throwing is Wilson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They will run again with Coleman. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a third down.
And it's third down.
Here we go, here we go. We own them. We own them.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Well, pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field.
What? 56, right there, 56. Watch the screen. Pass.
On first down, Wilson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore. Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Let's go, let's bring it. Alert. Mike 56, Mike.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the 49ers are going to get the football back.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see him take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 41-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
54. Come on, D.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Push him back.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Garoppolo. On the screen, this is Coleman. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And they'll get to this and down it inside the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Nick Bosa in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man complete. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 48 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Niners, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.